I don't know what I'm going to be doing for 24 hours apart from desperately trying to stay awake. And this one is a setup test. And one of the things I need to do is I need to turn off the camera arch because it looks like it's going to be too bright and I'm going to look washed out. And I don't need anything making my appearance. I also need to turn the channel to light background because it is decided that it is going to go on dark, and I struggle reading white text on black. I'm quite used to reading it the other way around. So that all needs changing before I sort out the main one. I was going to do all of this through OBS. Tried that yesterday. I spent a couple of hours trying to work out what on earth was going on with OBS, and I thought I'd got it almost set up. And the final step was to get OBS to sign into my Google account, and whatever I did, it wasn't liking the password and account information, and I double checked it repeatedly. I even looked it up on the laptop to see what was going on there, and copied it across to the across to here with great difficulty, and it didn't like it. I think the problem might be something to do with a cut and paste protection, which is a security feature. And this is really, really useful, provided you're not dyslexic and have to cut and paste things, because your chance of spelling a auto-generated password approaches nil, which means I can't log in. But as I say, by the time I'd got to that point, I was that fed up with it and put in with the heat. It is, by the way, alleged to be 23 degrees C in this office at the moment. I think it's a bit warmer, and it certainly feels a lot warmer. And I've got a fan on over there. I've got the big fan on over there. I went shopping for a fan yesterday and forgot to get one. That was one of the reasons I went into Boys and got. You may have seen the pictures of the hobby stuff I got. Well, the other thing I was meant to get was a standing fan to go in front of the door here, so that it forces the air through the office and out, and airflow through the property. Unfortunately, I didn't do that, and I've now run out of money. I had to spend my last money on getting some spray for these, because the spray that I'd got, I'd pretty much run out of. This is a Stuart M5 tank 3D print, and it's got a problem, as you can see, with the track, which I've got to fix. I've partly fixed it because it's broken off, and that's all glued in, but I've got to put a piece of plastic strip across there, and I've got to resculpt the track. But this is part of a thing I'm doing to help finance the channel. It's one of my old customers from the commission painting days, and they're basically paying me to paint these tanks, and that will all go into the channel. We also need some work on the bottom because it's a bit of mess. There's two of these, and the other one is better printed, and the turret's better printed as well. The turret's really quite nice, considering it's an FDM print. But I'll botch that up, and of course it's on the track, so providing it's continuous track, it isn't going to look that bad. I've also finally got the channel dragon sorted out. This isn't by any means finished. This is all, and I haven't finished the base for sure. This base is a sub base, and I'm going to put it on a bigger one that's a more conventional rounded shape, but I just needed something big enough to sit the thing on, and potentially to be able to pin the tail down. Now I think I've got away with that largely, because despite the model having a tendency to face plant, with it properly glued down on both feet, it seems to counterbalance nicely at the moment. The wings are more advanced than the body. I need a lot of different shades of red for the body, and those are all on order for Reaper, which is another reason I haven't got any money at the moment, because my Reaper minimum order is £200, and yeah. And so I'd also invested nearly £200 in a TV license so I could do this whole live stream thing, and do regular live streams, because I'm not just doing it the once. I'm probably going to be trying to do monthly ones, but not 24-hour ones. The 24-hour ones is largely a celebration of, as of starting this little live stream, having 1,150 something subscribers, to whom I'm extraordinarily grateful. I would appreciate you watching and give me some watch time, and I would also greatly appreciate comments and whatever else that feeds the YouTube algorithm, because I need this to be able to at least pay for itself, and that's how it does it. This is a Reaper Bones Dragon. I have a load more on order. Not this one, because this one appears to be out of production, and this I got from Phil of Spirit Games. We're still sort of training, and I'm probably going to, when I can afford it, get the rest of his Reaper stock off him. But this was to replace a dragon that I rather buggered, because I put the thing down on a radiator and the leg softened and the whole thing face planted, and I've never been able to fix it since. I've managed to I've done the hot water trick on it several times, but I don't think I managed to get it hot enough all the way through to remove the memory of it being in the face plant position, and therefore it's face planted. If you want to see what it looks like, have a look on the Etsy shop, and you'll see it's the Etsy shop logo. But there will be in production dragons on the Etsy shop just as soon as they arrive from Reaper. Though I will notice that the Reaper UK store is considerably, sorry, the Reaper Europe store is very out of stock at the moment, probably because things are going on in shipping, and I really can't afford the shipping from the UK, sorry, from the American store, which has obviously got the full stock because they make them there. So it's going to be a bit touch and go until the Reaper do nice stuff, and you can get painted versions of it like this, but not quite. As I said, there's a blue dragon, a black dragon, and there's a quite an epic one. And I've got a Tiamat style dragon downstairs, which I need to finish. But I was painting it rather when I was having a nervous breakdown the other year. But that's that, which I shall just pop out of the way. As I say, I've got large amount of photo editing going on the laptop, which is over here. I would show you, but as this is directly on YouTube and not through OBS, I can't use my other two cameras as easily. In fact, I'm not even sure you can hear me. I rather hope you can, but I haven't got the OBS feedback, and I can't listen back to this before I broadcast it. I've got the Biro camera here, which as of yesterday decided it was going to play up, and I'm not sure why, but it's fortunate at least that I've got the big twin camera that will show the desk, and I'll be showing stuff on there. I've got these nearly finished Baron's War stuff. I won't tilt it too much, but these are Wargames and Latics Barons of War, a selection that are my core war bands, which I've got to point out at some point. I've also got the Anarchy stuff over there. I've got more Baron's War stuff here, which is being painted. Again, I need to switch that arch off when I'm doing this because it'll wipe it up. But there's more Baron's War, and I'll show you that tomorrow. And of course, I've got our heroes with a Tiefling Adventuring Party. And because I have recently got the, well, I got it today, I've got 3 packs of this, which is the right colour static grass. I've got a pot with about twice as much as this, about 6 packs sitting downstairs somewhere, but I've no idea what I've done with it, but with plenty of stock of that. And basically, that's what I've been doing. I've been doing the Black Order, which are over there on the shredder at the moment. and I've been doing a load of Anarchy stuff again. That's one of the things I'll have to do after this little stream is over. Just start dusting them, because just as it got too hot to function this afternoon, I finished those and just need to dust off the loose material. And of course, to go with our heroes, we've got these, who are the little link boys. I need to sort out, these need to be gloss varnished. I need to remove things like fur off the base, and then I need to matte varnish them and base them to match the other heroes. As I say, there's two of those, two bold young lads taking torches into dungeons where older and wiser men, who aren't tieflings, fear to tread. So we've got those, and we've also got some other stuff to do for the Tiefling group, and I've got to work out an adventure that I can run them through, and I need to do some more dungeon floor plans. I've ordered some bases from War Bases to do that with, and I really need to do a big session of sitting down and finishing a lot more of the dungeon floor plans that I've got half set and have stacks of cardboard for. So that's going to be have me cutting things up and gluing them on and spraying them black, and then painting them various shades of grey. So we've got open access dungeon floor plans. I also need to talk to Kraken Games about some more door frames, because I've used all the ones I commissioned off him, even though I haven't finished all the floor plans. And I need a Mark II, which has got the adaptation that I did, that I worked out while I was using the Mark Is, which involves a base, a 10mm wide base that goes up the side of the door frame to reinforce it and mean that the thin bits at the bottom don't close up, and they need to be cut to 43mm, not 45, so I don't have to saw 2mm off of each of the bases, because sawing MDF is not a good idea. It cuts better with a laser than it does with any sort of manual saw. So I've got that to do, and as I say, I've got tons and tons of floor plan to do. I've got unusual base sizes. I've got half round rooms to do. I've got to work out how to do stairs down. Stairs up are easy because I've got some, some actual resin stairs that you can set and things. And I'm running out of coffee. It's a terrible crime. I might actually have to have a coffee slave in during the live stream, because otherwise I'm going to have to go off and make coffee. And that means going downstairs through the workshop into the festering hole and making coffee. However, because it's far too hot to have the coffee machine that's hiding behind there on either, because it just sits there and acts like a radiator, and it's lovely in the winter because it's another heater. You've got the drying radiator over there, and you've got the coffee machine over there just bleeping away, and you've got the big computer up there, also pumping air out, also warming the place up. But when it's been in the high 20s all day, that's less than fun. And I mean, it feels hot from this LED lamp arch that I've got up, let alone anything else. When this is done, I've got a great load of photo editing to do, because I've got to be posting stuff tomorrow whilst I'm getting prepped up for the live stream. I'm going to have another go at OBS, and I may stream through OBS, but at this point, this is my fallback situation. And I've sort of given it a few minutes here just to double check. I used to do these all the time, but then I discovered that I couldn't legally do that, and that I would be in trouble, and I can't really afford. This is the cold water that's come out of the freezer. It had ice in it earlier, defrosted lot. or refill that and stick that in the fridge. So it will be ready for later. So what else have we got on? Lots of stuff. I've got a load of 3D printed stuff, the rest of it which goes with these, all of which I should have sprayed this afternoon, but then I discovered I'd run out of spray. I could do one of them, but it was by the time I discovered I could have done one of them, it was too hot. I was looking for yellow spray for the tank because it's a German one, and I thought it was for North Africa. It's an early war version, so I could have sprayed it black had I been aware. And then worked it up with Panzer Grey because I've got a nice Panzer Grey in the Reaper range, and I know how to do those because I'm quite into the early war. In fact, I'd be slightly tempted to do the early war brown and grey camo pattern, the one that on black and white photographs looks like it's universally grey because the tonal quality on the camera looks the same. I've also got a great load of aeroplanes to do, which I haven't even started, and I have a giant box downstairs, the companion to the one that had all the 3D printed vehicles in it, that I haven't even opened yet, which I'm told I've got other stuff in that I need to paint. And again, this is part of the funding the channel thing. So I've got those to do, but given the amount of stuff that I've got in the room at the minute, you will appreciate why I'm not opening them all at once. I hope when you see the photographs of what the office is like, and bearing in mind this office is only an office, not a bedroom, because it is physically incapable of fitting even the smallest bed in it. During COVID, I had a friend staying in this room on a camper bed, and that was pretty much all that you could fit in here at the time. So it's ideal for storage, and it's ideal little working nook, but it isn't ideal for the amount of stuff that tends to accumulate. And I had a big clear up the other day, and it's all full of boxes again, because you open boxes and you have to put boxes, and boxes when they're open spread out and fill up the available space. Anyway, I have reason to believe, he says, checking his phone, that you've had about 15 minutes of me. I need to check that this all works as a stream, and I also need to adjust the background so it's the light background, not the dark one, so I can see what's going on. And then I need to get properly set up for tomorrow. I also need to do a large amount of photo editing, as I have got hundreds of pictures on this camera, which will be published over the course of tomorrow, of things that I've done today, so that you can get plenty of, plenty of input of what I've been doing, and the ridiculous levels of posting requirement that the algorithm on Facebook is now requiring. This is currently 100 posts a day, 100 posts a week, sorry, not a day. The day is ridiculous. But basically that means 10 or 12 posts a day, which is why I'm trying to organize it so nowhere gets particularly spammed, because I'm aware of people getting fed up with being spammed, but I've got to feed the algorithm, otherwise things don't, otherwise, you get throttled and your feed doesn't get to, and people don't see stuff. And given the amount of stuff that's not relevant on Facebook and associated things at the moment, it's very, very, you're a slave to the algorithm, even though you're working for yourself. So we, I'm going to leave it at that. But I hope you can see efforts are being made to push things forward, even if they're not always as fast as I like. And as I say, I'm always trying new stuff, always testing new stuff, and we'll have to see. Anyway, take care, everybody, and I'm going to try and remember how to finish this chat. Because, as I say, it's a long time since I've done it, and I'm just going to end the stream. So take care, everybody. Remember, there's plenty of content. there'll be the big live stream tomorrow. There'll be Evil Ginger in shorts every day, and I will be doing an Evil Ginger Tuesday. That might be a live stream because I might not have time to record it because I will be live during when I would be normally recording and double checking everything. All right, ta-ta for now, and take care, everybody, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.